Oh, what's going on, everyone? It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, Mike and Mish, with the Mission Accomplished podcast. What's up, Mike?
What's going on?
Just back here where we always are at 9 o'clock, waiting to entertain, waiting to talk to some awesome people. We got 4 guests lined up tonight. I'm excited. How about you?
I'm very excited. I'm sure people notice my voice may be a little bit different tonight. I'm not sure. Do I sound like Steve-O or
Ooh, that is a good, yeah. Or who?
I feel like I sound like Steve-O when I talk.
Or Mike Myers as the old Jewish lady at Coffee Talk. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. You know what I did tonight? You want to know?
What'd you do?
I was eating tacos, right? So I'm getting everything out of the refrigerator.
Taco Wednesday?
Taco Wednesday, only for me. So I go to grab sour cream, and it's always up on the top to the left. We know what it looks like. Get it dialed but daisy. So I grab it and I put it down on the countertop, and I get my tacos together and shit. And I'm stirring up the sour cream, and I put it on my tacos, and I go and I eat, and it's delicious. Everything's good. I don't notice anything. Then I start cleaning everything up, and I grab the sour cream and I look at it and I go, wait, did Steph put the sour cream back, or did she put the sour? So this is vanilla yogurt. So I put Smart Fit, whatever, vanilla yogurt on my fucking tacos tonight and ate them all, no problem. They were delicious. So didn't even know the difference.
It didn't taste weird at all?
No.
Look at you, trendsetter. Jesus Christ. That's the new vanilla yogurt tacos via Mike's house.
Yeah, vanilla yogurt on tacos.
You're on to some shit, Mike. You always are.
I was generous, too. It wasn't like I just put it on thin. I was generous.
They were leftover tacos from yesterday?
No, those were fresh from tonight.
Oh, jeez. So you really did skip Taco Tuesday and went right to Wednesday. I like your style. What's in the mug, Mike?
It's a nice hot coffee, and I have a little bit of Johnny Walker in there with some Kahlua.
And there you have it, guys. We got 4 guests lined up. We got one in the green room right now. We're going to go ahead and bring him on. After him, though, we're going to have Jeremiah Riggs. We're going to have Alan Belcher, and we're going to have Quentin Hero Henry. All 3 of those big giant monsters are going to be fighting June 11th in Jackson, Mississippi. But first, we're going to talk to the guy from the company that is making those badass BKFC NFTs that you've been seeing out there. His name is Austin Surhoff. I think he's going to correct me how to say his last name, because if anybody watches this show, they know I fuck up last names. Here we go. Let's bring in Austin. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? You need to improve the snack array in the green room, please. I need more than pita chips and Mike's tacos with the vanilla yogurt on top.
Apologies. Apologies.
Yeah. Well, if you were actually in a green room at my house, your options would be Coors Light and Trulies and no snacks.
That's what we have in my house right now. My wife and I like the Truly margaritas, and then we're in Denver, so you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Coors can.
That's true. You know what we did just pick up for snacks, though, and I don't know if anybody's tried these yet. The Old Bay goldfish crackers.
Mm-hmm.
The Old Bay seasoning.
No.
You get Old Bay wings. They're fucking so good.
I haven't had those.
Yeah. Well, go to the store, Mike.
Okay.
Get yourself some goldfish crackers and feed some to your kids. Fucking Christ's sakes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Austin. And how do you say your last name? I think I fucked it up. Is he frozen?
No, he's just playing dead.
Austin?
There
he is. I'm back. I'm back. It froze for a sec.
All right, so your name, Austin Siroff. How you say it?
Surhoff. Oh, yeah. No correction there. You got it right.
Oh, cool, man. From Athlete Assets, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and then just tell us what the company is and what direction you guys are going in, because I know that people that follow our show have seen these NFTs that you made for Mike Richmond and Britton Beltran, but not everybody is smart on what exactly an NFT is and why they should be important to anyone. So if you could just give us a little introduction to yourself and then tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, I can do that. So I'm a lifelong athlete myself. Myself and our CEO, Adam Small, we were both national champion collegiate swimmers. After that, I was a professional swimmer and a swim coach on the college level for about 10 years, ending last summer.
Wow.
I went to 4 U.S. Olympic trials and was on 3 U.S. national teams for USA Swimming. I bring up the swimming part because both of us were as good as we were in college. You know, we were some of the best athletes in our school. I was from the University of Texas, Adam from Arizona. And we both, as much as we loved our experiences, we loved our schools, we loved everything that happened with us, there was always something kind of sitting there for us. Like, I feel like there should be more for us there. You know, like swimming's a non-revenue sport. We had amazing opportunities opened up for us by our schools and by being swimmers. But when the NIL ruling last summer, if your viewers are familiar, college athletes can make money off of their name, and image, and likeness now is a pretty watershed ruling. And we both kind of had similar revelations of like, wait, this is what we were waiting for. Like, if this was there for us in college, we could have, you know, had opportunities to both cash in on our likeness and make some money while we were in college, but then also get the opportunity to start understanding the value of our brands as professional athletes, get some work experiences working with brands like ourselves as a company now. So that was kind of Adam's whole I guess premise behind starting Athlete Assets was using NFT technology to empower collegiate athletes and then also professional athletes, BKFC fighters, which we've had a really good relationship with so far, to basically have another avenue to make money off of their brands and their likeness.
That is brand new. And like you just said, for those who don't know, like NCAA basketball players been making, you know, NCAA basketball, football, those programs bring like millions and millions of dollars into the schools every year, and those athletes never could make any money off of them now. And this is huge. And I think I was telling you this the other day. We had a conversation with Kai Stewart the other day, who fights for the BKFC, who is an active college wrestler making money as a professional athlete fighting bare knuckle. And it blew my goddamn mind when he told me that. I was like, I can't even believe you're allowed to do that. And it was because of whatever changed last year.
Yeah, it's amazing how the landscape has changed and the opportunities that are available to these athletes now, for sure.
So you guys start this business. You guys were collegiate athletes. You were thinking like maybe you can get these guys to be able to monetize off their own name. So you start this company with the NFTs and the blockchains and stuff. Well, as you know, I didn't really know too much about what they are or not. If you could just explain what is an NFT and what makes them so valuable.
Sure. So I do want to start by saying the concept of value is something that I really want to, I guess, educate your viewers on, like just thinking a little bit differently about a lot of the conversation before I get into the specifics and the basics of NFT. Is around price action. You hear all these stories of people selling, you know, Bored Apes for millions of dollars. We are taking a different route that I'll get into, but at the most basic level, an NFT is a non-fungible token, right? So if you want to think about money, fiat, things like that, those are called fungible tokens, so like the US dollar. And you can trade in that dollar for a sandwich. In the physical world, a sandwich is a non-fungible token. It's an asset that you can buy that has a value that is set by the person selling it. And there's no transferable thing that it can be traded for the way that a dollar is equal to a dollar, right? With an NFT, it's a digital version of something like that. And it's called a non-fungible token because it takes up a very specific place on the blockchain. So NFTs utilize blockchain technology the way that Bitcoin does. The Ethereum is the cryptocurrency that everybody's heard of that most NFTs are minted on. And it's basically a memorialization that this one thing exists. This person has it, and it's completely It's completely immutable in its status, and it's verified in a decentralized way by the blockchain. So a couple of the earlier and I guess future use cases for this, for example, if someone wants to have a more secure way to own the deed of their house, right? When you have your house, you have a deed, it's on a piece of paper. I'm sure if you're paying off your mortgage, the bank also owns that deed. But once you pay it off, you own the deed to your house, right? If you own that in an NFT, for example, it's completely immutable that this deed in a digital format existed at this period in time, and there's no way to, I guess, refute that. That's the beauty of the decentralization of the blockchain. So with sports collectibles, the way that you can buy a Tom Brady jersey, right? Or for you guys, a Jason Tatum jersey, I guess. Go Heat. I'm just, I'm just kidding. I'm not even a Heat fan. I'm just a
Game
Boston.
5 tonight.
I know. I'm excited. I'm more just a Boston hater than a Heat fan, but I do I know
your connection's starting to break up a little bit.
It's not my fault, man. I grew up in Baltimore. The Sox beat up on the Orioles for a long time. Anyway, something like buying a Tom Brady jersey that's signed by Tom Brady, right? It's a one of one. He wore this jersey in a Super Bowl and then he signed it.
And you got a letter of authenticity with it when you buy it.
Exactly. So what we're doing with NFT is just taking, and other companies are doing this. We're not unique in this way. Fanatics is one brand that's very, very into this space right now, for example. But the value of that jersey, say we're in the Stone Age and you go back in time and you just hand someone that jersey.
Yeah.
What's the value of that, right? It's a couple pennies. Whatever it costs to manufacture the jersey and then buy the Sharpie that was used to sign it. But the story around it is what makes it valuable. And so we're just taking that story, that subjective value, a value that maybe one person has but not another person, and just putting that in a digital format. So that's kind of the basics of NFT and how we're applying it to sports in this way.
And what can it be? Just a picture?
No. So the NFT itself is a web page, and it has this super long cryptographic hash. That's basically what you own, is the web page with the cryptographic hash. And that goes into a digital wallet. If your viewers are maybe a little bit, or maybe literate with the blockchain and have engaged with NFT before, they might have a MetaMask wallet or a crypto.com wallet where they house NFTs. What they actually own is the art museum for the art, right? Or a better way to think about it is it's like a PO box in a bank vault, right? And when you buy it, you buy the web page, and anything can go on that web page. In our case, we like to do things with more straightforward things that people can easily understand. Just because like you guys said, most of the public isn't super, on board with the exact intricacies of NFT right now. So we'll put in, a flat image with a cool design based on a picture that athletes supply to us. We'll turn that design into a cool MP4 video that's rotating back and forth. And then we also engage with 3D modeling and augmented reality tech. So if your viewers have ever played Pokemon Go or shop for furniture on Amazon, where you can actually see the 3D of the furniture or the Pokemon in a room or on the street, those sorts of things can be put in, but it could be literally anything that can be delivered to a digital wallet. What you own is the housing for the stuff inside of it, if that makes sense.
So what I would say is, like, we have fighters that are watching this show all the time. We got one that's in there right now. So Chevy Bridges is in the comment section right now. He says, I'm an athlete who needs assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does he monetize off of these? Like, if Chevy was to hook up with you guys, he was to provide you with a few images, you would just make like what looks like a baseball card in 3D.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best. I guess analog in the physical world is they are what we are doing at the most basic level are digital sports cards,
like trading cards.
Yeah, exactly, digital trading cards, and we sell them not necessarily with the hope that customers see their speculative value. We actually don't engage in anything like that, because then you get into issues with securitization, where we might be dealing in currency, and then that gets into legal issues. It's actually a big problem with a lot of stuff on OpenSea right now. We hope that fans will engage with this the way that they will engage with a T-shirt with Chevy's likeness on it, right? Or if they attend a BKFC match, some sort of commemorative collectible cup or a poster where they own this, and it's like, this is really important to me because I'm a fan of the thing that happened. I experienced the thing that happened, and I want to own a piece of it. And then another part of our mission, and what we hope customers, and what we have seen that customers like, is that we share the vast majority of our revenue with the athletes themselves. The beauty of NFT versus printing T-shirts is it's a very low it's a very low barrier to entry for us to manufacture the items. we utilize a blockchain called Ravencoin, and they have very low fees for what's called minting, and that's where the asset is basically permanently memorialized in the blockchain. So for NFTs that use, say, Ethereum, those fees can get up to hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and that's why you see these insane prices on, say, a football card for the Texas running back I saw. It was a couple $100, right? A big part of that is the customer is actually paying to mint the item on the blockchain. And then the second bit, if it's already minted in the company's, what's it called? Sending from basically an internal inventory, gas fees on Ethereum, which is basically like the shipping fees, can also get pretty exorbitant. And the Ravencoin blockchain keeps it very, very small, super, super, super small amounts, like fractions of a penny. And all of that allows us to share most of our revenues with the athletes themselves. For Chevy, he sends us the images, we make the designs. In all of our contracts, our athletes have final approval over the designs. We launch them, and then we list them with a direct amount of inventory, the way that a t-shirt might be listed on our proprietary store.
And once they're sold, they're sold.
And once they're sold, they're sold.
They're sold, they're sold. And that's how, like, if you made an NFT for Chevy tomorrow, and I bought it for $20, and he ends up being the 145-pound champion a year down the road, the value of that NFT will jump up, or is it?
That's again. So yeah, that's the part that I was kind of saying is, like, we as a company don't like to engage in the conversation about the speculative value of things.
Right.
But, and this is not me speaking as a member of our team, but just as a person who understands sports collectibles. You went to the NHL All-Star game in 1994 and you got like this sick snapback hat with like a classic 90s design. Might have been worth $15 when you're there. But today, that's really cool to someone else who's a big hockey fan. It might be worth $500.
Right.
So there is that.
Or that Brady jersey you're talking about earlier.
Exactly.
You get that Brady jersey back in 2001. You still have that now. It's be worth a pretty penny.
His buddy from Michigan thought, Tom's a 6th-round pick. I was his roommate. This is super sick that he's an NFL player. Tom, sign this for me. Like, I'm going to be your biggest fan. And Tom's be like, hey, hold on to that. It's going to be worth something one day. Right. Like, It's the same kind of thing. But
like the Jordan 4s I had when I was 9 years old would be worth $900 right now.
Yeah. And that's another bit that we're doing a little bit of work with, which is the physical and the digital combo of NFT. So actually this is before I joined the team, but one of Adam's earliest accounts was he had a pair of one-of-one Jordans that Mike Bibby received because he thought he was going to make, actually Jordan thought as a brand that Bibby was going to make an all-star team one year. They sent him these shoes to commemorate that. They were going to launch a collection, and then he didn't. And so Bibby, he worked with Adam to sell those shoes, and then the NFT representing the shoes was basically like a digital certificate of authenticity. So it kind of buttressed its value a little bit.
All right. Okay. So I think we figured out what an NFT, what all this is. How does somebody buy them? Right on your website? Is it like through athleteassets.com or somewhere?
Yes, it is athleteassets.com. I actually made a QR code if anybody wants to scan this real quick, or when they catch it on your Instagram later.
Pause and scan.
But it is, our shop works the same way that, again, like a typical physical sports collectible site might work. There's a set inventory, set pricing, and most importantly, customers can pay with credit card, PayPal, debit card, all of the typical ways to do it. We do accept crypto, but we also know that a lot of our customers just don't engage with that space and just want to own cool sports collectibles. So yeah, we keep things very simple for them.
Right. Next question from Chevy, who's heavy in the thing. You know what? Hold on. Patrol man, you motherfucker. You don't even know me, goddammit. I got pictures of me at Disney World at 9 years old with fucking Jordan 4s on. So below me. Below me.
He has no idea what's going on. Do you know how old we are?
Yeah,
Respect your elders.
I'm 40 years old. I am definitely old enough to have Jordan 4s at 9 years old, you fucker. Anyways, like how would an athlete get in touch with you and start working with you?
For the BKFC account that we have, we work directly with Matchpoint Connection. They are their marketing partner that secures marketing deals for the athletes. So Chevy, what I would say is get with Nick Sherlock. He's my guy. and he's the one that I work with to set up the accounts.
There you go. Perfect. And who are some of the athletes? I named a couple, Mike Richmond, Britton Beltran, but who have you worked with so far in the BKFC that our viewers might be interested in taking a look at?
I think just based on the success level of the sales, Mike Richmond and Britt Beltran are probably the two that your viewers might be most into. We also launched collections for Arnold Adams and Dylan Kleckler in anticipation of the most recent heavyweight bout where Arnold won. And then we also launched a collection with Brandon Lambert, Mallow.
Brandon Lambert, Mallow, who
Mallow Lambert, yeah.
Didn't end up fighting, so that probably took a hit on the NFT thing, I would imagine, right?
I don't think it helped that he didn't fight, but that's, and like the same way you make trading cards or other commemorative memorabilia, that's kind of the risk that you take going in a market like this, is maybe the assumed value if someone was at this fight, someone was a fan of them, now we want to buy their collectible. If that gets pulled away, that's just something that we take a risk with sometimes.
All right.
Did you ever think about making like a pack of cards, like you don't know what you're gonna get type of thing? So hey, here's a pack of NFTs. Maybe there's 5. You open it up, kind of like on Madden. I ever play Madden and you get the deck of cards and you improve your character, but you don't know what you're gonna get in the deck. You open it up, boom, it's a bunch of digital cards, and there you go. Is that something that you guys are looking into doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the projects we're working on. We want to build a better roster of BKFC fighters first, just so that the fans can have, because a big part of that is the variable reward. It's the idea that there's 50 different people or 10 different people or 20 different people. We only have 5 collections right now, but as we build it out, that is absolutely something that we're looking into. We love the idea of buying packs and having different ways that the customers can engage with the trading cards in creative ways.
I think this is like, I didn't really know much about it, to be honest with you. And we talked the other day, but now I'm really starting to understand it. And like, I could just imagine trading cards came back in a big way in the last like 2 years. Like everybody was doing like reveal shows and stuff like that to open up cards. And now we're like, we're into the Matrix era of our lives here. So owning the digital pattern might be just as cool as ordering these packets of baseball cards,
Yeah, and the Matrix is a good segue into the other bit of tech that we're really proud of, is all of our products are also VR capable through our proprietary VR viewing platform that works with Oculus and all of the other popular VR headsets, and that's going to be a part of our VR gallery that we're launching pretty soon. So
I could buy a shitload of different NFTs and hang them up in my virtual showroom.
Your little condo.
People can come over to my house and put on the Oculus and check out all my shit.
Exactly. The way that,
So
a guy like you might have in his basement, like, a bunch of different jerseys or posters or signed baseballs. Our VR gallery is just a digital version of that. Exactly.
That's freaking cool, man. Yeah, definitely a lot to check out. Everybody go to his social media at the bottom there. You probably have a link tree or something to all your different things, right? I would imagine.
Yes. If you go to our Instagram page, which is at Athlete Assets, give us a follow. DM us anything you want to see coming down the pipeline. And then our link tree, which has our store, all the different links. This is very important. That's going to be in our link tree. Every customer needs a RVN aware digital wallet. Like I said, we use the Ravencoin blockchain. So follow that QR code that I just put up to also sign up for a Mango Farm Assets wallet. That's the RVN wallet that we work closely with and we trust very much. That's basically like the PO box where we send your NFTs.
It's all crazy new world that we're living in. I got to be honest with you. And I think it's very interesting. Are there any upcoming BKFC releases that you wanted to tell us about, or anybody that you're talking to right now about making some?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away about it. But we are working together with Taylor Starling. I've been a fan. I actually worked at Matchpoint. That's how I got involved with BKFC and with Athlete Assets. And I've been a big fan of how just her brand on social media, you know, I like when I can kind of wrap my arms around this is what this person's brand is. And then she also backs it up because she just keeps winning fights. So we'll be launching an auction for her signature series, which is our augmented reality 3D collectibles pretty soon. And then we'll have the full collection out in anticipation for her fight at the end of June. Yeah, that's the one that I'm really excited about because I've been following Taylor's story for about 6 months and I'm a big fan.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you right now is that you may have just broke some news because I don't think anybody knows that she's fighting in the end of June. So take that, ladies and gentlemen. June 24th, you're going to see Taylor Starling on the card against somebody. Because
am I going to get in trouble?
No, man, you didn't say who she's fighting or anything.
Or when. You didn't even say when, really.
Yeah,
it's the end of June.
Kyle's putting words in your mouth.
Listen, there's one event at the end of June, and it's June 24th. So come on.
Sheesh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this for sure.
I've heard it from a few people so far, so you're not the first.
Yeah.
Well, one last thing because I know we got to wrap pretty soon. All of your listeners, promo code on our website for the next week. If you enter the promo code Mike and Mish at checkout, you'll get 10% off all collectibles. So that includes the BKFC, but then we also work closely with University of Arizona athletes. We have a license to create official digital collectibles with them. And hit us up on Instagram. That's the one that we check the most, but we're also on Facebook, Athlete Assets, and then Twitter at My Athlete Assets.
Awesome, man. We love it. Thank you very much for coming on. We're going to play a game with you real quick, and then we're going to let you go. And you might want to pay attention to the three guys that are coming on the show because they could be some valuable NFTs as well, especially down south where these boys come from. Speed round with Mr. Austin Surhoff. First question for you. What is your least favorite sport? We know you're an athlete, but which one do you hate the most?
Just running. Running in general, man. If I'm not playing a game, the worst thing in the world is for me to just get up and run. So I would say running, and then I really sucked at lacrosse, which is like probably a sin because I grew up in the Baltimore area. But yeah, running and then least just because I suck at lacrosse, but definitely running.
Here you go. Number 2.
If you could slap anyone in the face, who would it be?
Oh my God. I'm tempted to make the Fight Club reference about wanting to fight Gandhi, but I guess I would just do humanity a favor, and I think I'd give Hitler a slap in the face. He's a dick.
I would say he's a dick.
That's a chalk answer, but I don't really hate a lot of people.
All right, number 3. If you owned a yacht, what would you name it?
Ooh, so my nickname that was given to me when I was a professional swimmer was Big Dog. It was one that I earned. It's one of the few instances where someone gave themselves a nickname and then everybody actually went along with it. So maybe they were making fun of me. I would call it the Big Dog.
Nice. All right. Number 4.
Favorite comedy movie?
That changes by day, doesn't it? I would say the one that has stuck with me the longest and has stayed in my top 5. I take movies very seriously. I saw Superbad 3 times in theaters when I was in high school, like in a week. And I watched it again maybe 2 months ago, and it was funnier. It was even funnier now. So Superbad is consistently my favorite.
It stands the test of time. That's
absolutely sure. Does.
Last question for you. If you could live next to anyone in the digital world, who would it be?
In the digital world? That's a great question.
Yeah, like Snoop Dogg.
No, man, Tom Brady. I would absolutely say Tom Brady. He's getting into the NFT game. I'd love to pick his brain about, what makes him tick, what makes him amazing. And he just seems like a cool hang. So if we're neighbors, at the very least, maybe I'd have a shot at being buddies with him.
Guy's the GOAT. He's the best of all, greatest of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Can't hate him.
He made my whole, since I was a teenager all the way till he still does. He's not even on the team anymore. I still love the guy. He's the best.
I really liked that part when he left that Boston team he was on. I was a big fan of him after that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on. We look forward to working with you more. Everybody go to Athlete Assets, at Athlete Assets on Instagram and hit these guys up if you want to check out their NFTs. If you want to purchase anything, scan those QR codes that he showed before. And we'll give you a second to say one last thing before we let you go, buddy.
I'm addressing Big Ben 316 in the chat specifically. Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. I used to be one of those guys that had the the opinion that was like Aaron Rodgers is the best, Tom Brady's the greatest, like one of those things. But Rodgers in the playoffs the last 2 years, man. I mean, Tom Brady beat him straight up in that NFC Championship. So I've fallen off on him getting that GOAT status, and I'm going to double down and say that Tom Brady is actually, even though I absolutely love Rodgers' game.
Brady's the GOAT. Come on, get out of here.
Brady's the GOAT. There's no way. There's just no way around it, man.
And then Derek Taylor over there is smoking something fierce. Says Joe Burrow will be the new GOAT. All right. Okay. Let's end that conversation.
He's not even going to be the GOAT in his own division. That's going to be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for giving us some of your time. Very interesting stuff, and we'll be hitting you up pretty soon. All right.
See you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks for coming on.
See ya. All right. That was Austin Surhoff of Athlete Assets. All you athletes that are in the chat room, I would say hit them guys up, man. I know that I don't know how AJ and Dylan did, but we do know that Britton and Mike Richmond's NFTs sold really well, and they did very well for them guys. So very cool having him on. Our second guest is in the waiting room. He is on. He's actually early because, you know, he's a military man. Early's on time. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and bring in our next guest of the evening. 1 second here. His name is Jeremiah Riggs, and he's back in there June 11th. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
There he is.
Good as always. How you been?
Yeah, doing good, man. No, great. Actually, real great. Just been busy, you know. Just living it up. I've just been kind of well, I mean, training my ass off for sure, but I really ain't stopped getting at it even since the Tyranny fight. So, shit. I mean, hell, Monday morning, I think I had a video of me loading my truck with square bells.
That good old farm life, man. I'll tell you right now. You just mentioned the Conor Tierney fight. We all knew who you were when you came out and you won your first fight against Eric Thompson. But it was what, 4 days notice that you got that? The Conor Tierney.
It was set. Yeah, it was really just technically 9. We were calling it 7 days, honestly. Like when I say, I mean 9 days initially, I guess you would really call it. But I mean, I'll just put it this way. So the Saturday, March the 12th was the Saturday. That Saturday before,
yeah,
me and Belcher were put a 7-day training camp together.
It's a 7-day training camp, and I'll tell you right now, man, if anybody wasn't a fan of you before that fight, you gave them great reason to make you one of the fan favorites, because you went to absolute war with a young, fast rising star out of the UK, former champion. I think he was 6-1 at the time, or 5-1 going into your fight.
5-1, yeah.
12 years younger than you. The kid had the youth and speed advantage, but you brought that fight to him, man, and that was a bloody war. You even dropped him on his ass. Talk a little bit about that fight, because that stole the night.
Man, I think that fight ought to go down as one of the greatest, if you really want to know the truth of it. And more the reason of that, you know, it was kind of like Belcher was saying the other night. He said, man, I think that was probably one of the greatest bare knuckles fought as of to date, especially if you look at the mental side of aspects of me and him, of having to, you know, kind of, there's so much went on, and I believe, and I'm saying this in probably both of our worlds, that we both kept our shit together, and we did exactly what me and him were supposed to do, and I think that's why that fight was so great. I mean, dude, it was. I don't even look at it in anything of saying, you know, hey, I mean, it in perspective, yeah, 7 days notice, but I mean, honestly, dude, that probably brought the best thing out of me. And I mean, it's still a set in still, you know, like I honestly probably watched the fight maybe 4 times since then, you know, and also, but honestly, you know, as far as that, like that was like, man, I was in a really good flow state. I never got frustrated in a fight, you know. I kept the fight, you know, I did what I really thought I should be doing at the time of going against somebody at that skill level. I mean, Little bastard can move.
Yeah, he can.
I mean, honestly, that was I mean, in no, granted, I mean, no, his footwork is really, really good, but I really believe that his style, my style, made such chemistry. Um, and then of course, as of probably what me and him both have learned from that fight going on to the present, oh man, that's gonna carry on and to something good. I've talked to him. We've talked about every week since the fight.
So
I
during the fight,
actually, yeah.
during the fight, you you had a little bit of a throw, which me and you had a few words back and forth, laughing about it, joking about it. What happened there? Was that just like your automatic
Man,
response to the position you guys were in? You're like,
yeah,
oh shit, boom,
or
and then you're like, oh
you
damn it.
know, I mean, honestly, I mean, when that's it. I mean, that's a game changer. I'm not
Muscle
saying that
memory.
was, yeah. And then of course, on the mental game of it, if you really want to know the truth, I mean, hey, when your ass gets put on that canvas, that's a different note. And even to change the pace of the fight, yeah, I mean, intentionally or not or whatever, I believe. I mean, it was just a chess move, I guess, more in a way. Of course, I had been so. We've always go over the clinch game. I know we've talked about the clinch work and stuff in the previous fights and everything, and really in the way we were clinched. And for some reason, I actually was catching that in the back. Me and Belcher were going over, and I really catch that a lot. In training for the bare knuckle clinch work that we do. And I guess, I mean, even in just a fight, man, just as that old Mark Fury hit squash, when my hands locked, I really just kind of, and then I got stuffed because it was with the pressure that we was at. I really only had about one way, and that was kind of step. When I stepped, it was kind of automatic. Hey, oh yeah, my bad. I kind of look at Belcher. Shit.
You mentioned
Hey, got
Belcher.
him. No.
You mentioned Belcher. You train with him, but you also were doing some training with Quentin Henry as well, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been waiting to talk about my man. So, a little bit. It was funny. So I call up Quentin, and which I met Quentin in the Jackson fight. You know what I'm saying? Like personally met him, face to face and all that stuff. Great guy, by the way. Great mom, dad. I mean, just super, super cool dude. So since bare knuckle, man, that dude. I like Quentin. I knew he's from Monroe. And I said, but damn, what a badass. That was really what I thought. And I knew of. We're not. I mean, he's 32, I'm 39, but being in the same areas, even when I was off, I mean, he's got like I said, great guy, good following, big name. I mean, number one in the world. Fuck, let's get real. So, so yeah, I get hit him up and everything, and said, hey, dude. So I was back and forth, from the coast and all, and I've had a lot going on. Just say back home. Matter of fact, my son just graduated high school about a week ago. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, thank you. So in the meantime of all that, I just took advantage and said, hey, I called him and said, hey, man, send me your address. I didn't know how far from over towards Monroe he was or whatever. And I said, let me see how far you are. Literally 1 hour. So I was like, hey, bro, I'm coming over. So we winged it, and man, we showed up first day and just really went at it. I mean, dude, we just did round after round. I was picking his brain, he was picking my brain. It was funny because I said, hey man, I was like, man, watching Bare, man, man, I'm really a fan of yours, buddy. Just to let you know. And he was like, oh, dude, fuck. Yeah. He's like, that's funny. He's like, man, I've been a fan of yours since I was 15 years old, bro. And I said, hey,
It's crazy
man,
how
look,
this world is, huh?
it's crazy how things work together. I said, but in where you're at and what I see in you and where we're at in this Bare Knuckle, you know, hey, bro, we're too close and too good. And me, the way I am, I mean, dude, I've trained with them all, and I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to do, even in Bare Knuckle. So I took advantage of it, dude, and man, we have put in some really, really, really hard, good work. Me and Quentin shared some tools that we use, and then in sparring. Um, Used, you know, what we see of each other, and honestly, dude, I really, man, I can't wait till June 11th, because one, I can't wait to for what I've got to give. I can't wait to see what Quentin's got to give and Alan's got to give, and we all been, you know, triangly working together. So
Wow.
I can't. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah, I'm trying to actually. I don't know. Within the next week or so, I should. I'm hoping all of us we're going to try to get something all together for all three of us, and do some training together.
At this point,
Yeah.
have all three of you been in the same room at any one
Not
point in time yet?
yeah, we've all been not really say training area yet. I mean, as far as venues and stuff, yeah. Um, um, but no, we're all three looking forward to. I'm kind of like me. I was laughing and say, yeah, I'm recruiting, but
Well,
it's building a team, and with me, Alan and Quentin, with what I think we all have to give in the area we're in. Even I have to even mention Sean Shaughnessy. You know, we've all trained, and I'm actually and I'm not going to leave him out. Because him and his coach Kenny Stevens are very good guys, very good. Kenny's a very good friend of mine, and when me, Alan, and them, we've all trained together. But like, I want to bring in all four of us. That's really was what my goal was like, hey, and I've talked to all of them about it. I'm really just kind of blowing it out now, as they all know.
it's you
But
know,
yeah, I'm actually trying to bring us in that area together as kind of like a good unit as a team, and try to recruit. You know, hey man, I'm all BKFC. These guys know it. Man, you know, just to say this out, you know, I'm really loyal. I don't see me going anywhere. I mean, I want to be an ambassador to them guys, and give back, and do what I can do for the sport, and grow it, and try to get some solid shit
the
happening.
strongest fighters that have been out there in the BKFC right now are ones that have been kind of like what you're saying, putting different minds together and like creating their own style. If you look at like the slaughterhouse boxing guys, they got Jared Grant, Brian Duran, HD Davis,
Good
Go.
guys, yeah.
They're all good fighters.
Man, look,
They all have different tools.
I've talked to Grant. I mean, and you know me, you know, shit. I draw energy. I draw it to me, you know, guy. I mean,
The best
I
way to
would.
go, man.
Me and Tierney. I mean, look, dude, I was this fucking close, and it was just it's time, you know, just things come together. Like I had a sponsor. Hey, we'll fly you right now if you want to go train with Tierney. And so I was kind of like,
That's an awesome opportunity.
yeah,
Right there.
but I said, you know what? So I got up with Tierney. I mean, like I said, we've been talking. Look, I mean, huge shout out to the kid, because, like I said, we talked about this before the fight. And when I watched the guy, some of the interviews, and you can go back and listen. You know, I told you, I said, man, I kind of wanted to fight. I didn't really. I looked kind of more past the 7-day. Like, dude, I kind of got a little. I want to see what this kid's about. This is good, not for me, but for him, and da 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 da. But yeah, no doubt. Going back to the training deal, yeah, man, I'm definitely fly my ass over there to see how them guys are doing it too. I mean, it's to me over there, like I said before. I mean, it's a whole nother little deal in bare knuckle, and I want to kind of get over there, train with them guys. I mean, hell, I mean, like I said, hit him up the other day. We were talking about some stuff, and he was like, hold on, I'm gonna send you what to do here. And I was like, bet, I got you, thank you.
Nice.
So
hey,
I got right on it.
Let's talk about your opponent real quick because we're running short on time, and we got your training partner Alan Belcher coming on next too. But Billy Wagner, man, he's a fucking badass brawler too. So what are we to expect in this one? Earlier in this interview, somebody in the comments said Riggs Wagner will be the fight of the night.
Yeah, man. Look, so
you know
I'm big. Fuck, I think the dude's tough. I think he's a hard worker. Just a little bit of what I know about him. I mean, he's a boxer, so this to me is another thing, a challenge for me. You know what I'm saying? Other boxers, you know, he's on. I think the kid's got a pretty good technique. I mean, he's been known in the boxing deal. He 1-0 in BKFC. Had a great knockout, by the way. Nice uppercut. I mean, shit. I really think that that he's game. I'm gonna bring it though. You already know it. I mean, I got the smoke, and I'm definitely gonna bring it right. You know, especially right off the scratch. But honestly, technically, the footwork, it's gonna be nice, man.
We're ready. We're ready to watch you display that in front of your home state, right? You're gonna have a whole army.
Yeah,
of people
definitely. There. Yeah, shout out to Billy, man. What hey, I know the kid's good. He's tough. He's coming. I wouldn't say he's not gonna not do whatever. So I think the stylistically, for where I'm at and the level that I'm looking at, man, I mean the footwork game for me is gonna be on another level for sure.
Can't wait to see it. Let's do
and you already know these hands are right.
Man, we're looking at you're waving those hands. Those are workers' hands right there, man. Those are farm hands for fucking sure.
Yes.
All right, let's ask you some quick questions real quick. Have some fun, get you out of here, and then we'll get Alan in here. Here we go. Number one, what would you say? You are a guy who has done it all. You've been an Army Ranger. You have rode bulls. You have done this. You've done that. What's the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Yeah, I mean, bull riding for sure.
Probably bull riding.
I mean,
hey,
yeah.
Have you ever rode a horse and then like jumped off onto a bull? You ever do one of those things?
Oh, like the bulldogging? No, I haven't. No, there's the steer wrestling. No, I haven't. I think that's a badass deal. Now I've jumped off a horse on some shit, you know.
I think those guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah, I've done it like in a pasture, jumped off of horse, jumped on like a calf, something like that. But yeah.
All right. Number two,
what was your best bull ride time?
Oh, 8 seconds. Now I've been on one longer, but it's 8 seconds. That's a wrap.
So you guys don't time after the 8, huh?
Yeah, no, actually, anything after 8 don't even count.
Oh, man. No shit.
So you don't just hit that timer.
8. You don't make a shit if you stayed on him and beat his ass till 10. It's 8 and you're done. Hey, them motherfuckers be yelling at you. Get off my bull.
Time to change those rules.
When Pee Wee Herman was on that bull and Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and they were like, he might be going for a new world record. They were full of shit.
Yeah, full of shit. Yes.
All right, number 3. What is your favorite thing? What was your favorite thing about being in the military?
Man, just knowing that, fighting for the freedom of our country and for what we believe in, and just pride. Just to have man, that intestinal fortitude, dude, integrity, honor. I mean, shit. Some people need to listen to that and kind of look it up and kind of figure that out in the world we're living in today. I mean, absolutely. And I really bring that. If no one's ever read anything, they ought to read the Ranger Creed, because that's how I'm living my life, man. Absolutely. Straight up, dude. And I think that's why, you see how, it's all left out there. It's always going to be put out there. And, because it's kind of like the very first, recognizing I volunteered. Hey, man, I volunteered for this shit. I know what it's about. Trust me.
Fuck yeah. All right, number 4.
Tell us a story about your worst date. What's the craziest thing that ever happened on a date that you went on? I know you've been on some crazy. You went on a show, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Oh, golly. The craziest thing. Oh man, I can't even talk about that. Yeah.
You're gonna have to plead the
Craziest.
fifth.
You gonna plead the 5th?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I got to do that one.
All right. You've only been in two bare knuckle fights so far. What's a rule that you would add or take away from bare knuckle in your first 2 so far? Have you noticed anything that you wish you could do or wish you couldn't do?
Yeah, I tell you what. I don't know. What is it? An 8-second count or 10-second count we get?
It's a 10-second count, but you get the standing.
Is
8.
it?
Yeah.
You get the standing 8. Okay, yeah. I was thinking. I don't know, man. I haven't really seen anything that I would right now add or take away. Because honestly, I think if you almost added something right now, it would take away from it.
It'd gum up the works.
I mean, really right now on that question, I'm about. I'll probably have an answer for you maybe afterwards. But man, I like the rule settings. I tell you, I don't know what they do. I tell you what I mean. I don't know. I can't remember if they have a second on the breakaway. I think they really are. If they're going to give them, I think supposed to give us like 3-4 seconds into work. I think they need to really like
enforce that.
Let us work that, because there's been times, I think a couple times working the clinch where I was like, man, what the fuck? Come on.
Oh, they break it up too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, let's break up. Okay, well, shit, I thought that's what, especially if you're really moving, really swiping. I mean, when you're, now if you get a dead break, that's okay. But yeah, I think you ought to let them, kind of at least, if it's some, because I believe in bare knuckle, and just saying I'm not keeping up times. But if you're pummeling, even if you're pummeling, bam, and I'm moving,
yeah,
hey, offensively or defensively, I'm setting some up. Okay, give me a little time. If it's a stall, you'll know it.
That's a good answer.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
No,
well,
I
we are
agree.
excited to see you back in there June 11th against Billy Wagner in Jackson, Mississippi, BKFC Fight Night, Jackson 2. If you have anything else you want to shout out real quick before we let you go, take a second and do it.
Man, just want to shout out to my team, everybody locally, Vicksburg, Mississippi, all my sponsors, everybody who knows me know who they are. I don't want to just single out anything, but I do support all my locals. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mike and Mish, man. Y'all the fucking best, dude. I appreciate the support and love the country.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Well, we thank you, and it's a pleasure to have you as always. You're welcome back anytime. Good luck on June 11th.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate it. Oh, no doubt.
It easy.
All right, dude. That's the fucking man right there, Jeremiah Riggs. We love talking to that guy. Can't wait to see him fight. His teammate or training partner is in the waiting room. Somebody in the comment section put an answer up there for that question that we just asked him that I fucking absolutely love, and that is that championship fight should be 6 or 7. I think championship fight should be 7 rounds. Yeah. They should be 7 rounds.
A little bit of extra.
Yep, absolutely. I love that answer.
The fighters are getting better. They're getting more technical. So
they're getting better. Yeah. If not all of them should be 5 rounds. The championship fight should be 7. That's a great answer. Our next guest is the main event at BKFC Fight Night Jackson 2, June 11th. He'll be taking on Big Frank Tate. He is the talent, MMA veteran, BKFC undefeated heavyweight, Alan Belcher. What's happening, buddy?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Cheers.
Well, we're doing good. You're looking nice and relaxed there with the Johnny Cash middle finger shirt on. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yes, I am very, very relaxed. Ready.
Number one ranked. Today was your off day.
Yeah,
You
today's
are-
my off day, so I'm just chilling.
So you're the number one contender in the heavyweight division. You are taking on Big Frank Tate, June 11th. Everybody knows you. Everybody's seen what you're capable of. And when they go to try to break down what's going to happen in this fight, the first thing that people are probably going to say is that Frank's huge compared to you. But Tony Lopez was a goddamn monster, and Bobo O'Bannon was a fucking tank himself. So I'm not even going to bring up Frank's size. What are your thoughts on Frank Tate? Let's talk about him in his last fight against Joey Beltran. Were you impressed with Frank, what Frank did there? And what do you think you're going to see? What kind of Frank Tate you're going to see coming in there on June 11th?
I'm impressed in Frank's ability to just be winning and doing what he's doing at his age. It's pretty cool. So we fought Frank I cornered Chase Sherman against him a couple times. Must have been 8 years ago, something like that. He was around 40. I thought he was close to 40, somewhere around there. Hell, we thought he was old back then. Now I'm like that, almost that age. Yeah. So yeah, he's still doing it, and he's making a little run, knocking a couple people out. So I'm definitely impressed with Frank. I'm very happy for him. So, but now I got to fight him. And that's next.
Yeah,
So,
you got,
BoxRec has him listed at 46 years old, so a little bit older. I wanted to ask you about and excuse my voice, I was at the 50 caliber machine gun range this weekend, and I was screaming on top of my lungs, so my voice is gone a little bit, but bear with me. At the end of your fight with Bobo, Frank gets in the ring, and he's like, "Fight me," right? And then you were going to answer him, and you had a hesitation. What was that hesitation about? Because I had my own why I thought you did it, but I just want to hear from you why you hesitated for a second before then you answered him.
Gotcha. Well, my hesitation was that I didn't really want to fight Frank Tate because at that time I was fighting down, and so my only hesitation was just how to appropriately address Frank calling me out, and also did not get emotional or anything like that. Where so I kept a cool head, and where most people would take any challenge coming in there, I was like, man, I really want to tell this guy that I don't really want to fight him. I want to fight Arnold Adams, but I was like, be careful, because be careful what you wish for. I actually didn't think it would happen. Frank earned it though.
Right.
So it's a different time between then and now. Is a little bit different. Frank
he did
went and showed that that he's a big boy.
I believe, I don't know, I don't think there were official rankings back when he fought Josh Burns, but the talk before that fight, when Josh was supposed to fight Dylan Kleckler, was the winner of that fight was going to get a title shot. Kleckler fell out. Frank fell into that spot, knocks out the guy who was this close to a title shot. Then in his next fight, he fights the number one contender, Joey Beltran. So he definitely earned this spot in the main event against you. Arnold Adams just fought Dylan Kleckler last event. Did you watch that one? And were you impressed by anything you saw out of the champion in there?
I think he showed a different side of his game that he hasn't had to show before, which is that aggressiveness and brawling. So that was good. That was interesting. I'm glad that I got to see that before I fought Arnold. Now I feel like I know all of his moves. So I know that he can get down and dirty whenever he needs to, So he definitely had to change his mindset. Shows a higher level fighter too, so it kind of makes me think about it a little bit differently. It makes me focus even more. I feel like
nice.
A technical battle is where I want to be.
Are you I guess I don't really know how I'm supposed to work. So you're now 2 fights into your bare knuckle career, right? It's a completely different sport than what you had been doing your entire career. Now that you are 2 fights in and you've picked up some of the little nuances about the sport, are you like completely changing the way that you're training nowadays?
Yeah,
Particularly for
yeah.
this sport, or are you still kind of doing the same thing you always did?
Well, if anybody is not changing what they're doing, they're not really going to get better. There's no way to do it. I've been an athlete my entire life. I've never saw anyone just train one way and make it very far at all. It's a science and an evolution. So you have to keep on training differently. So I never figured out MMA. You know what I'm saying? Not even close. No, not even close. And so that's what I'm still on that path to figure out how to control this body and make it a killing machine. Whether, when I'm working on, throwing someone or, submitting them or kicking or punching or whatever. So just like in an MMA fight, you go one direction to train for that fight, or that's the way I always kind of approached it. I like to dive deep in the specifics of something. Like whenever I fought Husamar Palhares, was a leg lock guy that was just ripping everyone's knees to shreds and stuff. So I brought in the best guys and I really dove deep into that. And if you watch that fight, I looked like I had, I was a skilled leg lock person. It gave me, a lot of people after that were like, oh, now you're on par with this in the leg locks, and you fought this guy, and your Muay Thai, your kicks are there, this person, your wrestling is there, or whatever. So I like to dive deep into the specifics of something. And whenever you look at it as a total athleticism type of thing, it's easy to adapt to different types of sports and stuff. So I like bare knuckle.
And you've been boxing more too, right? You've been taking boxing.
I have been. So now, of course, my training now is 95% boxing type of stuff, and then the other 5% is just a little bit of fun, jiu-jitsu and kicking here and there just to keep myself sharp, just because I want, I'm working on myself, trying to become a better martial artist.
So you do some crazy training lately on your Instagram with Jeremiah Riggs and a couple other people with lights that people are holding and moving around, and you're reacting to the lights, and some number stuff too, numbers on boards.
Yeah.
Where did all that come from?
Well, my friend Robbie, my friend Robbie Ellis is kind of stepped up and as our coach, and especially in the strength and conditioning and the movement and those types of the physical aspect, but also psychological too. And what we've uncovered over the last couple of years is that all this physical training is very mental. It has a lot to do with your brain and psychology, and the physical training kind of goes hand in hand. The psychology, just like in a fight, it's both physical and mental. And me coming from my eye injuries that I had in the past, it kind of slowed down my career, and ultimately it was what kind of scared me and made me stop fighting, there for a little bit, was it turns out really is more of a kind of just a laziness to the eye when coming after those surgeries of not using it. So just like a lot of injuries are, people protect those injuries and they get worse and they become, disabled in that joint or whatever their knee, instead of, the way to heal yourself is to work through it. So working with the eyes and the brain, and I've been fighting full contact since 14 years old. So 14 to 29 was, I didn't, all my sparring was hard. So giving myself, my brain a break, and then getting into, different types of nutrition systems to get your brain doing better, and, to just improve all your cognitive skills and your, your focus. Mainly focus is something that I feel like that some fighters start to lose with the frontal lobe damage and stuff. There's a whole lot of research and stuff on that, but like just getting scientific is where all that stuff kind of came from, is diving into how the brain works and everything. So, I mean, you can see, like, I do drums and instruments, and you know, we're playing jingle all the time for like the fine dexterity and motor skills. We have all kinds of sports. We play basketball. we really do this all day long and stuff. But yeah, working with the mind, the charts, Schultz charts is something that I stole from Lomachenko's training videos and stuff from YouTube, and it was the first time I heard about the Schultz chart. So I looked into that, and this guy developed these 12 charts of random numbers from 1 to 25, and you use your peripheral vision, and you're trying to find all 25 and touch the board. So there's a lot going on there with how you're thinking and how your brain's working, and your peripherals. You want to develop where you can see lots of details. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
Like you master this shit, you can have your peripheral vision, and I can read. You're exercising here and the 25 up here just equally, instead of having to focus in on it. I'll focus my peripherals and get a wider range. It's kind of the idea that you want to get to. But I mean, we also find out that when you do these types of things, when you make it competitive and you're timing yourself, or we're working with lights and reacting to lights, those types of things, there's then a psychological aspect that comes in. All right. Because you start to get some type of anxiety. Oh, they're going to win, or there's people watching, or you know, with our Schultz charts, like every time someone goes through it for the first time, they get stuck on one number, they can't find it, and they're like,
wow.
Either they verbalize it or they don't. I'll ask them afterwards what they experienced, and they're like, well, I thought that the 7 wasn't there. I was like, you gave me this chart that it wasn't there, you know. So it's pretty cool. We get pretty wild with it.
Yeah,
can you tear it up on the drums? Are you a fucking good drummer?
I'm getting better. Yeah, I'm getting better. I practice every day.
Oh, I feel like you may have done this interview in front of those drums because you wanted to tear it up on the fucking show.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
No.
That would be a whole. I did turn on the song and do all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, maybe some other time.
Hey, speaking of you boxing, you know, in between your BKFC fights, you have been picking up some boxing matches. Did you see Anderson Spider Silva? And I don't know what weight class Anderson's boxing in, but would a boxing match with Anderson Silva interest you in between some of these?
Hell yeah! I think that BKFC should promote that. I think that
I was thinking that too.
Me and Feldman will talk to Anderson Silva and set up that boxing match.
Try to get that shit going. He looks pretty good. He looks sharp. I think he's like 45.
Of course, I'll fight him in bare knuckle too. But I think that would probably cost a lot to get Anderson Silva to come back and fight me bare knuckle. That'd be nasty.
Well, man, I feel like you're at the top of your game right now in a new sport for you, and you're a step away from a championship title shot. Really looking forward to this main event with Frank Tate. Do you see it being a long, drawn out fight at all, or do you see it ending quick? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see this fight ending faster than probably any fight that I've ever ended. This one and I'm not in an accidental way. I'm just practicing, just dropping myself into the zone and finding the range instantly. Off that scratch line, I'm coming at him hard. Like it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be very quick.
All right. Damn. Well, don't blink, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's the saying. Don't blink. We're going to ask you a couple of fun questions and let you get on out of here. All right. AB speed round with Alan Belcher. What is your favorite go-to snack?
Ooh, go-to snack. Peanut butter on anything.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Fucking PB and J, baby.
I mean,
You know,
just peanut butter out of the fucking jar. If I'm being honest.
You know what? You know what's bullshit? My kid went on a field trip today, and we had to pack lunches for him. So I made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He gets home from his freaking school day, and I'm like, "How was the field day? I mean, how was the field trip?" He was like, "Oh, it was great." He goes, "Oh, but you should not have packed me that sandwich." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Henry has a peanut allergy," and I was sitting next to him while I was eating it. I got told I can't eat, but next to Henry, I'm like, what a fucking made up thing that is. I don't know, man. just seems. I mean, everybody ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when we grew up. Come on.
I never saw anybody convulsing.
I've never in all my years did I even know that was a thing until like now that I have kids. All right, number 2.
What is your favorite song to get hyped to, and what song do you absolutely hate? If they play it in the gym, what pisses you off?
What song pisses? Damn, what would be I'm not familiar with songs that piss me off, really.
All right, what's your hype song?
What's my hype song? Dude, I don't really have one of those either. I mean, I'm like, I don't get hype. I'm calm.
Too calm. Number 3, tell us a behind the scenes story that most people don't know about a fight story about you. Backstage shit, something cool.
Backstage shit. One time my coach Rodney slapped John Jones in slap boxing, fucked him up really good. It was a little joking thing, but John Jones always plays with everybody in the back. So every time we were in the back with John, because we were in like that same area there, we'd be back there all the time. And he was messing with Coach Rodney. I was like, hey, show me some boxing, whatever. So one time he messed with him. Yeah, he pieced him up, had to show him. And so that was a cool time.
Humbled the boy for a second. Number 4.
Do you think aliens exist?
Yes, I do.
Fucking nerd, and they're terrifying. That's the answer right there. And last question from you. Do you have your best dad joke? You got a dad joke?
I actually do.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I have. Yeah, I got the best one.
What you got?
Okay, let me make sure that this isn't. Okay, no, this isn't like anything I'm gonna get. Not too offensive. All right. Why did the blind man fall in the well?
I don't know.
Because he couldn't see that well. He couldn't see that well.
Because he couldn't see that well.
Very nice.
I love it, man. That was great.
You have it right there. You could.
Oh, you could have did the rim shot.
Yeah.
So. All right, man. Well, hey, take a second. Say some last things. Do you have a referral code that everyone can go get the app?
Oh, for the fight?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Use Jeremiah's. Go get Jeremiah.
There you go.
I'm about to knock Frank Tate out June 11th so fast that Dave Feldman is going to give me a nice bonus check. So I'm good. I'm probably going to sell a lot of pay-per-views too anyway. So
there you go.
Thanks.
The Mississippi guy. Tune in June 11th. Big Frank Tate versus Alan Belcher. We will talk to you after. How about that?
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Later.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Alan Belcher, the talent. What just happened to Henry?
Henry disappeared. Belcher took Henry with him.
Quentin Henry was just in our
Sorry, he'll be back.
In our guest room. That guy is ultra calm, ultra confident all the time.
He had a day off. He was maxing and relaxing.
Chilling out, maxing and relaxing. All. You know what he was doing, Mike? Lamping. Right?
What's that?
He was lamping.
He was lamping. That's for sure. If you ever seen somebody lamp, I'm not sure. Many people don't know what lamping is, but he was lamping. That's for sure.
Joe Ivy says, I thought he was twitchy. It's probably because he's, probably went to the gym on it. He said he had an off day, but he probably took some pre-workout. He went to the gym.
Yeah.
He's ready to rumble. We got our last guest of the evening in the break room right now. We're going to bring him in. He is fighting Sawyer Depee at Jacksonville. BKFC Jackson 2, June 11th. We are excited to see him. He is the number 2 ranked cruiserweight in the world right now. And his name is Quentin Hero Henry. Brother.
Hey, what up, guys?
What's up, man? Thanks for hanging in
What is
there with
up?
us. We went a little over, but
Oh, no problem.
hey, there you are, man. We were going to talk to you last week. We had to readjust our schedule, but here we are with the man himself, number 2 in the cruiserweight division. You are fighting a guy named Sawyer Depee, who has made a quick name for himself in the BKFC. This will be his 4th time he's fought in 8 months. He has 2 impressive victories, and the one loss that he had was against a monster that holds the fastest knockout of all time, Yuli Diaz. He put up a good fight against Yuli. So thoughts on Sawyer Depee, and how the hell did this fight even come to fruition?
Man, I don't even know. I thought I was supposed to be fighting Lorenzo next, and he had some type of mouth injury or something. And so this is what they came up with. Sawyer had to move up to 205. I don't know. It was either, do this or wait and sit out. And, I'm not really big on that. So, I'd rather just keep moving, keep getting experience, keep getting in there working. I like the guy. I've seen him fight a couple times because I watch all the shows, I thought he had a pretty good fight against Yuli. I like Yuli personally, but I don't really think he's that skilled of a boxer. So I think he's a very good bare knuckle boxer, but as far as being technical, he's a very tough guy. But Sawyer caught him with a good one. So that was some good film and stuff. But I like the guy. Just I've seen him do interviews and post fight interviews and stuff like that. He seems like a pretty nice dude. So he's not one of those that runs his mouth and all. So I'm cool with fighting him.
Yeah, like we said, he's pretty new to BKFC. He's only been around for 7 months now, and entering his 8th month in the organization. He's gonna be fighting for the 4th fucking time. That's a busy fighter right there. He's been very impressive, but like you said it a minute ago. You thought you would have been fighting Lorenzo, even if Lorenzo was out with some mouth injury that you speak of. Why wouldn't they go with like Gustavo Trujillo? Do you know if his name ever got brought up at all?
I guess he's got another fight booked already. I'm not sure if man, I don't like I told y'all before, I'm like a mushroom, they keep me in the dark and feed me shit. So it's like I'll just figure out, I just kind of wait around, see what's going on. I didn't even know I had an opponent until like a week and a half ago or something like that. I don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, I have a feeling they're trying to save Gustavo and let him and Lorenzo fight.
Yeah.
Before I fight on either one of them. And so I think and I don't know this for a fact, this is all just speculation. So if I were to fight Gustavo or Lorenzo, maybe that would mess up the plans on that fight being a big fight. I don't know. You never know. There's so many variables involved with it. But I mean, he's down to fight. I'm down to fight. So, it's just another day in the office, man. It don't really matter who they sign up. The game plan doesn't change.
Having so much time between fights, how does that screw with your head? Because you're sitting there, you're thinking about what opponent. Is it going to be this guy? It's probably going to be this guy. Oh, it's not going to be this guy. It's going to be this other dude. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it keeps changing. So your mind's like, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to fight. I think I'm going to fight this person. I'm not going to fight that. And you just, months are going by.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that is, I guess, an anxiety arising situation when that's going on, but my deal is, I didn't exactly get told, oh, you're fighting this day. Like, I didn't even know I was fighting on June 11th until like, I think I was only 4 weeks out when they told me I was going to be fighting June 11th. And then I didn't find out I was having or who my opponent would be until, I guess it was not last Friday, but the Friday before. So it was like all this kind of just gets thrown off real quick. I didn't know because they kept telling me like, well, we'll see at the end of this week. We'll see out of the end of this week or whatever. I guess they were trying to see how the rankings lined up or something, or how Lorenzo did. And so, it kind of just got thrown on me last minute. But I'm ready. It's not like it's that big a deal. I just got to get back in shape. Usually I stay in shape. This was one of the first times I actually took a break after that last fight. I needed it, just to kind of chill out for a little bit, because for 2 years straight I was going pretty much 6 days a week. So here and there I'd have a night off, but I pretty much stayed training the whole time. So I got me a good little vacation, rest up a little bit.
Your previous opponent, Jay Fish, just fought Houston Alexander. What do you think about Houston Alexander at 50 years old, fighting in the 205 division and actually looking pretty damn good at that age?
Man, it's pretty cool, because I remember I was a big fan of his when he was in the UFC, because the dude's just nasty when he's throwing them hands, So, I think it's awesome, especially, because like the dude doesn't look any different than 20 years ago, So, if anything, he's probably just got a little better head on his shoulders now, So, it's cool to see guys like that do good, I don't know where he ends up in the rankings, but I don't know if he's staying here to try and get some belt, or he's just trying to keep feeling young or whatever, but
maybe he'll just keep
power to him,
Maybe he'll just keep getting on every card they put in Nebraska.
Probably, I could see that, because he's a big draw there.
He doesn't give a fuck about rankings. He'll just take a fight. Every time you guys come out to Nebraska, hit me up and I'll fight somebody.
Yeah, I can totally see him doing that.
Yeah. Your division is weird because the Hector Lombard situation, like, have you heard, or has anybody talked about whether or not he's going to come back and defend that belt ever, or is he going to vacate that thing at some point? Like, is there any rumblings about that? I just feel like it's weird that he was supposed to be defending that title against Lorenzo from Jump Street. Fight week came around. All of a sudden, he wasn't defending that title anymore. It was a 185 title fight. So he hung on to that. I don't even know how long it's actually been since he defended the title. The Joe Riggs fight was like last August, right? So, so last August, we're going into June now. We're getting into the danger close to a year without defending the title. I wonder what the deal is with that.
Your guess is as good as mine. I know at one time I was told by a very good, reliable source that he was out. And because I was trying to fight him, because that was kind of the deal. It's like, all right, well, if Lorenzo's defending 2 belts or whatever, he's going to go defend the 185 belt. Let me have him. And then, then me and Lorenzo will fight for that 205 strap or whatever. And then, I was told he signed with Eagle FC for a multi-fight deal. He's gone. He's out of here. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then the rankings came up and he's still in the rankings. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense to me. I figured that he was just going to be off into the sunset after he got his 3-fight deal, because I don't know what they paid him, but I know they paid him a pretty good bit, and I don't feel like he was worth it. He didn't come out and knock anybody out. He wasn't some devastating fighter when he came out here in the bare knuckle fight. He played patty cake with Lorenzo for 5 rounds and lost. It's just he's not a high dollar fighter. His name might have been at one time, but the performances he's putting on have been lackluster, to say the least. So,
but to be honest,
I'm surprised they would even sign him again after his last 3 fights. But I guess he's got the belt. But I don't know. I felt like it was a good time to go ahead and just get rid of him. Move on. But they don't care what I think.
Hector, even in his MMA career, though, like what you just said about him in BKFC, is what a lot of people always like. He was always expected to be better than he actually was in MMA. Like he was always like right on the cusp of being a big star, but never really was. You know what I mean?
Well, when he was at Bellator, he was still knocking people out pretty good.
Right.
It was when he's transitioned to the UFC, it was like, all right, he's just a normal dude.
Right.
That's weighs too much for 185, or is way too short for this weight class. That type of deal.
Well,
But yeah,
I believe he was fighting. I mean, he went all the way down to 170 in the UFC, and that's where he had his most success. But yeah, like you said, he's too big and bulky and too short for the division. Maybe I'm just talking shit, but I think that whole situation's so weird with the Hector Lombard thing.
Well, I mean, now you've got Bellator and I say UFC are probably closer as far as competition goes, but back then they weren't. Bellator was B League, no doubt. It was a B League division, and then you saw the difference when he went to the major leagues. It's just you see it happen to a lot of guys that go from those smaller promotions to the bigger ones because, I mean, damn, the UFC is the best of the best. So unless you're just a phenomenal standout fighter, you're not going to be putting on awesome fights every time you go out there because you're fighting another phenomenal fighter that they've scouted from somewhere else, throughout the world. But, but I honestly felt like the BKFC thing was kind of a money grab, like a legacy deal for him. And I thought he would be, off and gone, but I honestly have no idea what's going on with that.
So you said this was the first time in a long time that you actually took time off in between your last fight and this one. What have you been doing? Anything good? What you been up to in your time off, buddy?
I've been working. I've been going to church more, being a better Christian and, spending more time with my family, just kind of, I'd spent so much time being the hero in hero mode. It was just priorities get shifted, and before you realize it, you're completely different type of deal. So, and I didn't like that, it was like I had kind of developed this character, for Bare Knuckle, I guess my image, or whatever it was. And then it got to a point where I became that, it was it was no longer Quentin or the hero. It was just, the hero who had a dark side because he was so stressed out and pissed about stuff all the time. And, I just needed a second to step back and reset. And, I think it came at a good time. I think it's the best thing that could happen. I feel way better, than I ever have as far as mentally. So that was kind of the main thing that needed to happen. I had a period I wasn't even going to go back to fighting. I wasn't even worried about it anymore. I was planning on retiring and, so I didn't. Obviously, I'm coming back, but just thoughts, things like that go through your head when you're trying to work things out, see if it's worth it versus the time you're spending versus the time it's costing you.
It's funny that you said that you became the character that you created or your persona. Because when you were supposed to be on, we mentioned you and we're talking, and your mom was watching, and she was like, "No, that's not a persona. That's him every day." And it's just funny that you said that now, and we've met you in person a couple times, and I feel like you are kind of that guy, So
yeah, I mean, I am. It's not like it was all of a fake thing, but it was more of, more of my guard's up. I'm on the offensive, more of an aggressive type of posture that I was taking all the time, and it was. Mainly just because I've spent so much time getting run over, especially in the sport. And, I think, like I said, the way I act, the way I talk, that's how I am all the time, around my friends and doing all that, but that's not always how you need to be in public. So, it's more of a setback with that. And, it was more of like along the lines of, I found myself doing and saying things that I would have never said 10 years ago. Because I always wanted to be, that was part of my hero moniker was that, I was a firefighter and all that, but, I was the guy out there that wasn't flipping off his opponent, that wasn't smashing them with tomatoes at weigh-ins, that wasn't, doing all this stupid stuff. And I was still, felt like I was a bright spot in the sport, wasn't covered in all these, tap out tattoos and all that kind of stuff. I was just like anybody else, like 90% of the guys that actually do this and actually care about it. I felt like I was kind of representing them. And, and I still had fun with it, but it just got to a point where it was like, all right, Brady, that's not exactly being a good role model in certain aspects and, things of that nature. But I didn't do anything that I necessarily regret. I'm not saying that, but when you get into that mode and you get into that, like, all right, I'm Quentin, who's just going to be, I'm going to answer, I'm going to say what comes to my mind, I'm going to pop off of what comes through. And that's, like I said, that's not always good. Sometimes a filter is a good thing to have. And it was like it got to where the more I did that, the better responses I was getting, whether they were negative or positive. And and like I said, I just became so obsessed with training and fighting. And I was at a point where I pretty much had to put myself in this mindset of, not necessarily a villain, but a hero who had a big obstacle to overcome, and that just kind of took over my life with what was going on. So, instead of just coming home and flipping the switch off, it was just on all the time. And the more you get stuck like that, the more you don't even realize that it's happening. So. But
next thing you know, you're Conor McGregor punching fucking
right.
old men in the face at a bar.
Yeah. Where does it end?
Yeah,
when you go through that. But and it had a lot to do with, I just had in my mind that no matter what, no matter what happened, what I sacrificed, what I gave up, once I got my hands on the belt, it was all going to be okay. And I was going to be happy, everything was going to be good. And I had the last 2 fights in a row. I was told after the fight I was going to get a title shot, and then I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to fight Chris, blah, blah, blah. So I beat Chris, and I'm like, all right, I'm fighting for a belt now, blah, blah, blah. This is going on. And I just still wasn't happy. Nothing was any better. And obviously here I am not fighting for a belt again. But I got to a good place to where I don't have to fight to be happy anymore. That was the only thing I was looking for as far as happiness. And that was not good, because I got a great family and wife and, and all that. So, that makes me happy. And, I just need to step back and get back to that for a little bit. And then I get to go in there and throw bones for fun.
You had mentioned that you needed to step back for a minute. You had to, basically reset yourself a little bit, and you actually considered retiring. Now that leads me to a question, and I was going to ask it. Somebody put it in the comments here about your skill set. You had a very successful MMA career. You just earned your black belt in jiu-jitsu, so you're obviously still rolling. When you say you were considering retiring, were you considering retiring from fighting altogether, or would you ever venture back to maybe take a shot at like a Bellator or something like that?
I know. I was pretty much just, unless they want to give me a bunch of money, which I know they don't. I was just going to not fight at all. Just run my jiu-jitsu school. I would coach and do stuff like that. And, because I'm only 32, but I've been doing this since I was 16. And, that's a lot of, it's not always the year model, it's the mileage, you know what I'm saying? So, but I've, since I was 16 years old, I've been the kid who was watching his weight, who wasn't going out on Friday nights because Saturday mornings we had training. I was always working out, always staying in shape. So, I've been doing that for 16 years. And, you turn around and think, what do I have to show for it? Like I got a bunch of cool stories, but here I am, number 2 fighter in the world, one of the fan favorites of a huge organization, and I'm still broke. I'm still having to go work and do other jobs. And it's like, what the hell is the point in this? If I'm missing all this time with my family, like had I put half the amount of effort that I have into fighting into my businesses and working, I'd be rich. And, so I sat down and I got back to work and I started focusing on that instead of, fighting and seeing what the difference was. And I've made more money since my last fight than I did all year fighting BKFC last year. And that's only in a matter of a couple of months, and so, which I don't know if that's more of I guess it's kind of impressive, but at the same time, it's more of a knock at how much money I made fighting, so it's like,
right.
Fighting's great, legacy's great and all that, but I don't need that. And I need my family to be taken care of. I need me to be taken care of, and that's where you start looking at it is where, okay, well, maybe if I fought another 4 years, I could hit a lick and do this and that, but how many more years do I even have to fight? You know, like I could get hurt in my next fight and never fight again. You know, and for what? You know,
Yeah.
I guess legally I can't tell y'all what I make online or whatever, but it ain't worth that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's kind of where I've realigned. I've got back to working good. I got back into contracting. I've been doing some roofing contracting and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying it. So, but I'm finally to a point now where I don't have to fight. And if there's something I don't like, then I'll just pass on it, and I'm not. We'll just move on.
Well, it sounds like you're since you're happier in your life outside of fighting, that maybe now it's gonna reinvigorate the fighting side in a way that you didn't have before going forward, and maybe it pushes you further than you thought that you would go.
Yeah, different perspective for sure. Because before, fighting was the most important thing that I had, or that I had going for me, or going on, or in my mind at the time it was, and now it's really not that important. So, the pressure to win and the pressure to succeed and all the anxiety is just like, I don't give a shit, like
Wow.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, so, yeah. And I mean, I think that was one of my biggest enemies before, was my own head, just making it so much of a big deal. And what if I lose? What if this happens? Blah, blah, blah. And like, it doesn't matter. I'm still here. I've lost before, so, and it's a fight, man. It's called fighting, not winning. Anybody could lose to anybody on any given day, and, Sawyer Depee is one of those guys who is skilled enough to finish a fight. If you mess up and slip, he's no tomato can by any means, so, I think it's an exciting fight, and, but I'm looking at it more from it's a business perspective now. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna train like I need to. I'm getting ready like I need to. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to. So, it's just another day in the office.
So,
Sounds realistic.
yeah, I was going to say, so do you feel like you have less pressure on you this fight than you have in any of your previous 5 fights?
For
Because
me,
you,
yeah,
be- because
because
you're,
I don't care.
yeah, because
So,
you're in a place where you're comfortable enough to be like, you know what, I don't really need fighting. So the pressure to go out there and blow the doors off the place isn't really even there, even though you may feel confident that you're going to do it anyway, but you're not really,
well, yeah, I mean,
you
I'm
don't seem
still going to
stressed
go out
about it.
there, and yeah, I'm going to perform at the best that I can. And, but I might go out there and knock this dude out and get a highlight reel, and y'all might not ever see me again. And I'll be fine with that. So, that's just the way it's going to go down. I'm, like I said, I've been doing this long enough. I've definitely earned to be where I'm at. And, I'm going to fight Sawyer Depee. My plan is to go out there and win. I always plan to win by, impressive fashion. I'm coming forward, I'm dropping bombs. And, if one connects, somebody's going to sleep, and it ain't going to be me. And, so, and I'll be happy with that. I'll ride off into the sunset with that. If after this fight, I'm fighting for a title, y'all just won't see me again. And I'll just pack my bags and I'll say, hey man, had a good one, appreciate it, had a good time, it was great, till next time, just write about me.
Wow. This is a calm, dialed in Quentin Henry that we're talking to here, and I don't know, I didn't expect this side of you to come out tonight. You're very this is different. Like we said, we've
Right.
ran into you in person a few times, and you're the hero. And for sure, right now
Right.
you seem kind of in a place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just matured. It's just
There you go.
I hit that breaking point, and then now it's all downhill from here, in a good way though.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Oh man, well I cannot wait. I know that your footwork and your jab's going to be on display as always. Sawyer Depee has shown that he's skilled as well. He's got power in both hands. So I know you've studied his I'm sure you've watched his fights and you've seen what he's done in the last few months. So we're really looking forward to this one. This one has fight of the night written all over it. You know what I mean? Possible knockout of the night written all over it. So this will be
Probably knockout of the night. They got to last long enough to be fight of the night. I don't like spending too much time in there.
Well, your 2 buddies that were on here before, Belcher and Jeremiah, both.
Jeremiah's been training with me.
Yeah, Jeremiah was on a little earlier. He was talking about how he said he had to hit you up because he found out that, you know, you guys are only an hour apart from each other. And he was like, why the hell, you know, why are we not training with each other or something?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, we've been getting it in too, man.
There you go. Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's a freaking that guy right there. When you were hanging out with Jeremiah Riggs and you guys aren't beating the shit out of each other, do you ever pick his brain out of all the shit that fucking dude's done between Airborne Ranger, freaking Bull Rider, TV
we
star?
talk nonstop about all that stuff. You know, most of the time we're talking about, we're kind of picking each other's brains about fighting, you know, most of the time, but we talk about it. We are very similar, I guess you would say, as far as like, you know, how we grew up. I mean, like I said, we're an hour away from each other, so culturally we're pretty much alike, a lot alike. You know, I could see a lot of the stories he tells. I'm like, yep, I could definitely see that. You know, I've been there. You know, but the dude has done, I mean, not just what he's done outside of the sport, but just what he's done in the sport. You know, he's trained with some of the best guys in the world, like on a consistent basis. And he's fought for some of the best promotions. And, you know, and like when he was doing that interview with y'all, man, like he's just like that all the time. Like he is just a character, man. He's fun, but he's a good dude. You know, he's fun to be around. He comes into training. He's like, man, I'm here for you. Let's just let's do some stuff for you. I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, so.
Did you know that? I don't know if you've ever talked to him about this. So when we first had him on the show, we had him on 3 times now. The first time he came on, I'm like, somebody, I don't know if I saw it written somewhere that he was on Daisy of Love or on VH1. Right. So I'm like, fuck, I go to YouTube and I find an episode of Daisy of Love where they actually had all the contestants that were like vying for her love fight in an MMA or in a cage. So they got Jeremiah Riggs, who has pro MMA fights against all these fucking schmucks in the house.
Dude, that producer was awesome. I remember watching that. I was at the house. And I feel like my dad was in there watching it for some reason. He was like, "Are they really gonna let him fight those people?" I'm like, I guess. I'm like, Dad's like, he's a damn professional fighter. I'm like, I know, it's awesome.
He's getting that date. There was no way he was not getting that date on that episode.
Yeah, because I mean, I've known who Jeremiah was since he was on The Ultimate Fighter. You know, he's from Vicksburg. Like that's literally an hour, you know, east of me. And, you know, so it was like, you know, oh man, that guy's from Vicksburg, you know, and then he was funny on the show. And it was just like, it's funny when I see redneck people get put in situations that aren't typically redneck, you know, because I'm seeing all how the other people are reacting to them. But I'm like, man, I've got 5 cousins just like that. You know what I mean? And like, great. You know, it's just funny to see that's rednecks around normal people is just awesome.
Yeah. You should have your own show called Rednecks Around Normal People. And it's just like you, Jeremiah Riggs and Alan Belcher walking around fucking
creative.
Yeah. See, me and Jeremiah were talking the other day because he's been to Australia and Britain and like he knows Michael Bisping and stuff. And I was telling him, I was like, man, I think I would get along with people from London. He's like, bro, you totally would. He's like, they're just like us. I was like, I feel like that. I was like, I feel like those London guys are just rednecks with a different accent, you know. And he's like, pretty much. He's like, they're wild, just like. I'm like, man. He's like, you totally get along with them. I'm like, yeah. That's why I was wanting to go fight on that London card, but you know, I guess they need me in Jackson.
Well, dude, it's gonna be this card in Jackson's fucking stacked. Unfortunately, and I saw some people, you know, the typical where are all the women fights at? There's not enough women in the women's division to put women fights on every single card. So relax, you'll get them June 24th. But this one here, between your guys' fight, the main event, Frank Tate and Alan Belcher, freaking Jeremiah's fight. This card's awesome. Scott O'Shaughnessy's on the card. It's a fucking stacked ass card. But
and that's how it is a lot of the times. You know, it's like some of the cards you don't expect to do anything. You're like, and that's what's so good about Bare Knuckle. You know, it's not necessarily about who's fighting, it's who's fighting each other. You know, different styles just make some fun fights to watch.
Hell yeah. Should be a freaking blast June 11th. But before we let you go,
Robbie Peralta on that.
Oh yeah, Martin Brown and Robbie Peralta. You got Zion Tomlinson fighting O'Shaughnessy. It's like it's a hell of a card. Everybody tune in June 11th. You're not going to want to miss this one. But we're going to ask you some fun questions before you get out of here, like we always do. Speed round with Quentin Henry. number one, if you became a professional wrestler, would you be a heel or a face? And what would your finishing move be?
Okay. If I was a professional wrestler, my character would be Macho Jim Duggan. And I'm the love child of Macho Man and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I've got a full character I've developed with my friends, and so yeah, that's totally how that would go. I would be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Obviously, they're both my dad, no mother, test tube baby. You know how that went down. Backstory. Actually, my mother was single and she was a roadie. Oh no, that's what it is. She was a roadie that used to follow Old South Wrestling around, and kind of got in a tag team match with Macho Man and Jim Duggan, and then they battled it out for the egg, and then both of them just created me. So it was like, really, his mom just didn't pay him any attention. He just sat around watching wrestling all the time, growing up,
I fucking
smoking
love it.
Pall Malls. But finishing move would probably have to be some version of a Stone Cold Stunner. I feel like that one's pretty, either forwards, RKO's in the back, but, I would have to copy the Stunner. I think we've had enough time in between the two that I could take it. I think you pass it on to me.
Fucking outstanding. He's at the whole storyline and everything, man.
I know
great.
it.
Everything, bro.
By the way, if you haven't already, I'm gonna plug the show. I know it. I think they canceled it after 3 seasons, but if you have Hulu, go watch every single episode of Dark Side of the Ring. It's fucking fantastic. I'm telling you right now.
I'll check that out.
Here we go. Number 2, Mike.
Who is your favorite American hero?
We're talking about like in movies or like in general or
In real life, like your favorite American historic figure, or
historical figures,
something like
man.
that. An American.
I really do like. Let me see. I like. Now I'm instantly going back to the Revolutionary War. That's a pretty big one there. I would have to say though, ultimately, it would have to be Jesus. I think he's probably my biggest hero. He does bless America. So but the things that he did for us, and seeing all that, I feel like that's who I try to live up to. So we'll give him to that. But American, I guess we could go with I like what's the Navy SEAL guy that runs a lot? Him and he's got the
Goggins.
book.
No,
Yeah, David Goggins is that's an inspirational fella right there. I really
that's
like
a good answer.
watching his stuff, and I think like that's the idea I think people should have of Americans. Like we're gonna push, we're gonna keep fighting. It doesn't matter what it takes, we're gonna get it done. So I'm a big David Goggins fan.
There you go. Good answer. Number 3. What is your favorite movie that starred Hulk Hogan?
Man.
Do you know?
I don't even know of many movies he was in. What movies was he in?
See,
that he was actually like a part of.
He was the star of movies called Mr. Nanny, Suburban Commando, 3 Ninjas, High Noon.
Wasn't he in the A-Team? That was
No Holds
good.
Barred.
No Holds Barred. By the way, No Holds
Barred.
Barred is the only answer for that question.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good one.
All right, number 4.
What actor would play Quentin Henry in a movie about your life?
Man, I would probably go with like Gerard Butler. I think he could play
Gerard
me
Butler.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
The Spartan guy. I think
yeah.
he could pull it off. He's a good actor. And
Russell
then
Crowe.
Russell Crowe might not be bad. Matthew McConaughey, I think he could pull it off pretty good. Maybe, I don't know. He's a lot more country sounding than I am, but they'd have to be pretty tough.
Joe Ivy comes in with a Bradley Cooper nomination.
Bradley Cooper. Oh man, come on.
All right, and the last one. Here we go. Name your the 3 most American things that you own.
Oh man, an American flag. I've got. Oh man, the most American thing that I have. I've got a Ford.
There you go.
I have a house. That's pretty American. Running water and plumbing. What?
I have a house with American flag on the front and a Ford in the driveway.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I own my own
Winders.
business. There's a lot of American things that I have. I mean, I think I'm wearing American underwear right now. So, the odd box. So, I got American flags on all the stuff I got.
Do you happen to own a bald eagle?
Named
That's
Eagly.
actually how I got this
Eagly.
mullet.
That's right.
When it
Remember?
gets a little too long, I go outside and it's just like, "Rah!" And then he comes and he cuts it with
Yeah.
his talon.
I've
Oh.
heard that.
Late nominee Ryan Reynolds from Megan.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, man. You have to get buff. He's lean. You know what I mean? He's not. Gerard Butler's a little thicker like me. I think he could pull that off.
Here it is.
Hit him
man.
up. Hey, Gerard. What's up, bro? It's movie time.
What's up, buddy? Hey,
Hey,
so
Tom,
we're gonna let you get on out of here, Quentin. You are always a great guest. You're an open book every time you come on here. If you want to say one or two last things, maybe give us the final prediction before we let you go. Here's your time.
Man, I think this is going to be an exciting fight. I think ultimately it'll end by round 2. But I am excited about it. It's definitely one of those that could turn into maybe a little bit longer than that, like a real banger. The guy comes to fight and he can give a punch and he can take. I've seen him take some punches too. So that'll be fun. I'm looking to welcome him into the 205 division. I think it's going to be a lot different when I hit him versus one of those 185ers or 175 guys or whatever they were. But I'm excited to see if maybe he's got a little speed. I don't usually get tested too much on my speed because, I only use what I got to. Yeah, he's got some decent footwork. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
There it is. I mean,
sponsors. I got to shout out sponsors.
Oh, go ahead.
Armed Forces Roofing and Construction, Traxler Chiropractic, Fighter's Friend, and I know I missed another one. Fuel Factory, Hero Fitness Academy is my gym, and Brad Bell Insurance Agency, American National Insurance Agency. So shout out to Jeremiah, all my friends and family. My code, I don't know how to say it, but if you go on my Instagram, Hero Henry, my code is in my bio, and you can check out the fight on the pay-per-view.
There it is. You're not going to want to miss this one, guys. The whole event's going to be awesome. This is going to be one to watch for sure. Thank you, as always, for coming on the show tonight, and best of luck on June 11th.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one,
brother. Thanks.
You
Take
too.
it easy.
Take it easy.
Okay. That is the hero, Quentin Henry. That was a pretty awesome interview with him. He's in a good place in his life, I think.
Yeah.
It surprised me a little bit that he said that he was actually considering retiring because he's only 32 years old. He's in incredible shape. The dude's a freaking monster.
Yeah.
And he's one of the sharpest snipers in that division, as far as like when he throws, they hit with precision and power every time. He doesn't waste punches. So for a guy that's like in such a zone in this sport to even like say he was considering moving on, that kind of took me back a little. It took me back a little bit. I don't know. How'd you feel about that, Mike?
Yeah, it surprised the hell out of me. I do like his mindset though, because I do, fighters, how could they not put pressure on themselves constantly? Because the fight game is so unpredictable. These guys are training forever, guys and girls, and anything can just end that fight. I mean, it doesn't have to be a knockout punch. It could be you rolled your ankle the wrong way and you have to stop the fight, or a cut right away, or at the end of the fight that you're winning. I mean, you just don't know what is going to happen next. So you get all through all this training, or you don't fight. You go through this whole thing and then you don't fight. Someone doesn't make weight, they get sick, whatever, So it is stressful. And I think they put too much on their shoulders to get in there and win when they're doing all the work that they need to do. You don't have to put the extra on top. I mean, it's almost impossible not to do it, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, hopefully leading up to the fight. So all that's not going to do anything good for you. And so I'm glad that he's kind of like worked himself out of that like crazy headspace that we can get into as humans when we're getting anxious about something that we have to do, that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do well.
And honestly, being in a position that he's in and that he's been in that division, he's been at the top, right? He's been the top 1, 2, or 3 guy for the last year. And to have a champion that has a belt that's not defending it has to frustrate the shit out of the guys below that champion in that division. So, like, he's really holding that division hostage right now. All these fucking guys, they want to be world champions, but if the belt is not available to fight for, then what the fuck are we even doing? That kind of attitude starts to roll in a little bit. This fight with Sawyer Depee should not disappoint, though. We've seen what Sawyer has done in his first 3 fights. We know what Henry does. It's gonna be fucking awesome. The card's great. Everybody should tune in. Make sure you do. You support all the guys that come on this show. We support them. We should all support them. Watch their fights. Next week, Mike and I are back to Wednesday and Thursday because we have a huge week set up for you guys. As you look at those graphics, take a listen to this. On Wednesday, June 1st, we're going to have Jimmy Rivera at 9 o'clock, who's going to be fighting Howard Davis on June 24th.
God,
Howard Davis will come on right after Jimmy Rivera. Then we're going to have 2 other guys, Tim Hester and Brad Kelly, who are going to be fighting on the upcoming June 11th card, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Brad Kelly. Who the fuck's Brad Kelly fighting?
Brad Kelly's fighting Stanislav Grosu.
Yeah, that's Go-Go, right? Isn't that that's Ryan Perez's boy, Go-Go. And then Thursday night we got Bobby Taylor Samus, and Taylor Samus is that 18-year-old kid, right? He's like the youngest kid. Is that the young one? I'm gonna have to double check on that, sure. But he's coming on. Then Brett Williams and Andre.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's the one. He was the one in the tryouts.
Yeah, he was in the tryout. He was a blonde kid. He's like he's like 18 years old. No show tomorrow night, Susan. I'm sorry, we didn't.
New tryouts.
We have shit going on again, so we promise we're gonna bring you guys 8 fighters next week. We also have, how do you say Andre's last name? Ewell? Is it Ewell? Andre Ewell. He's going to be in the main event. He is a former UFC fighter who is main eventing the next Triad Combat event, June 11th, same night as the BKFC. But Andre Ewell is going to come on. Bobby Taylor, Taylor Samus, Brett Williams, and then Andre Ewell next Thursday. So we got 8 fighters for you guys to tune into next week. Mike and I will be busy. And then we got the event after that. So that does it for tonight. Thank you very much to Austin Surhoff for coming on and educating us on NFTs. Very cool shit. Gonna have to really look into it more and get into that. And then Alan Belcher, Jeremiah Riggs, and Quentin Henry, all class acts as always. Thank you guys for coming on. Best of luck in your fights. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, I've got nothing else.
All right, man. You guys have a good weekend. Happy Memorial Day. Go celebrate everybody who gave their life for this fucking country this weekend. God damn it. And with that said, peace.